Hi everybody! So, to my mind, understanding 3D printers will help you understand better what they can produce and whether you should buy one. There are basically four main types of 3D printing, but I'm going to focus on the most affordable method. It's called Fused Filament Fabrication, or FFF, which is also known as Fused Deposition Modelling, or FDM. It's the process of taking a thermoplastic material, heating it up and pushing it through a heated nozzle. There are literally countless machines of different designs, and with more coming onto the market every day, there's a huge range for people to choose from. However, all filament printers have a few things in common. Every filament printer has an X, a Y and a Z axis, and this allows it to find any point in space and so can work in 3 dimensions. If you compare this to a home office printer, the print head only moves along the Y-axis, while the paper moves along the X-axis, and the combined movements allows it to print. All filament printers have a hot end, or a part whose job is to heat room temperature plastic into a hot and consistent temperature. The hot end also contains a feed mechanism which pushes the heated plastic through a nozzle, and this turns the plastic into a thin thread of filament that's chosen by the nozzle size. The smaller the nozzle size, the finer the filament, the finer the print. Another way of thinking about this is if you strapped a hot glue gun to a robot. And there are products on the market like Scribe 3D, 3D Pen and 3Doodler that print in mid-air where you are the machine. The principles are exactly the same, but you're operating like the machine, moving the plastic through the 3-dimensional space. It's not very accurate, and so you can't do engineering models, but some of the things that you can create this way are truly astounding. And it does have the advantage of being very cheap and requiring no software. The material pushed through a 3D printer is commonly referred to as filament. It comes in a wide variety of colours and a huge range of different types, these three being perhaps the most popular three. However, the most popular is without a doubt PLA, because PLA is relatively easy to print with and gives good results, although it does have its drawbacks. The filament is pushed through the extruder head at a continuous rate as the extruder moves around the X and Y axis. This allows a 3D printer to effectively trace your design layer by layer. 3D printing is considered an additive manufacturing process. Basically, you start with nothing and continue to add material until you have the desired bit that you want. This is in contrast to something like a CNC router. It's known as subtractive manufacturing. You start with a block of material and take away the unwanted parts, or subtract it. So to quote J. Clark Scott, how do it know? How do 3D printers know how to create your design? Like most computer-controlled machines, you basically have to provide it with a set of instructions. This really is much easier than you might think. There are two main ways of getting something to print. First, you can design your own 3D model from scratch, using 3D modelling software like Fusion 360, Blender, Onshape or Tinkercad. The other way is to download a ready-made 3D model. There are a number of websites, sites like Thangs, Thingiverse, Printables or Cults 3D. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for, but there's a whole range of models from practical prints to prints that are just fun. Once you've chosen or created your design, you need to open it in one of many software programs that are referred to as slicers. The two major ones are Cura and Prusa. Most slicing softwares accept 3MF, STL and OBJ type files. Slicing software translates your 3D model into lines of code that represent very thin layers. On average, these layers are only 0.1 or 0.2 millimeters thick. It's a bit like cutting a vegetable into very thin slices. The simplicity actually is quite astounding. Behind the scenes, the software writes lines of code called G-code, which are the instructions for each layer. For every layer, the instructions will tell the extruder to move to a new location on the X and Y axes or the XY plane. Each point is listed in the instructions, in an order that's usually the most efficient. It's just like putting icing on a cake. The extruder of a 3D printer will continue to every sequential point as the material is pushed out of the nozzle. This happens until the shape of the individual layer is complete, and then the head moves up in the Z-axis and continues it. The shape outline is filled in as it goes, with additional material is set in a pattern that's referred to as infill. The infill can be anything between 5 and 100%. and gives the final object its necessary structure and rigidity. In the last decade, the cost of 3D printers has plummeted. You can buy a reasonable 3D printer for £100 or less, and £200 to £250 is going to buy you a pretty good mid-range machine, with the £400 to £500 region being a very nice machine indeed. Of course, you can spend anything upwards up to £10,000 if you want. All filament printers include a small fan at the hot end that helps cool the filament after it comes out of the extruder. The fan helps the plastic solidify into the desired shape while sticking to the previous layer. Once the layer is complete, the extruder moves upwards in the Z-axis, and it's a very subtle movement, but it matches the layer height that was set in the slicing software, for example 0.1 or 0.2 millimeters thick. This process repeats again and again for each layer until you get the part that you're wanting. For complex parts, extra material is printed called supports that stop overhangs dropping or protrusions not printing properly. Another way to think of filament printers is like a group of 2D prints stacked on top of each other. 3D prints can take anywhere from 20 minutes to days or weeks. It all really depends on the size and complexity of your design and the speed of your machine, although modern machines are printing at phenomenal speeds like 600 millimeters per second. Okay, in summary, start by creating your own design or downloading a 3D model from the internet. Load that into your free slicing software and generate the G-code that your 3D printer can read and use as instructions. The 3D printer can then interpret those instructions layer by layer as it lays down the plastic. The plastic will continue to push through the extruder at a steady rate as the extruder head moves from point to point, and this process repeats for every sequential layer until your desired part is complete, taking anywhere from 20 minutes to days. Anyway, I hope this was helpful covering some of the basics of 3D printers. I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you very much for watching.